Fire style, Fireball Jutsu. Earth style, Mud Wall. Sasuke's jutsu burnt through the stone, forcing Kakashi to jump. He was met with a barrage of shuriken, weaving through each one easily. He was getting faster in almost every aspect. Chidori! His lightning had also improved, both in brightness and piercing power. The attack struck the ground, creating a clean hole where Kakashi once stood. You need to stop becoming so tunnel-visioned. That's what your Sharingan is for, the Jonin stated. A pair of hands grabbed his legs, another Sasuke charging in with a kunai. Kakashi caught the first slash, swiping the blade out of Sasuke's hand. After using it to block the second slash, he stabbed it into the hands grabbing him. The clone burst, Kakashi backing away as Sasuke weaved hand signs. Jets of water flew towards him, Kakashi using a kunai, cleanly cutting through each one. If you want to close the gap between you and Naruto, you need to stop focusing on learning more jutsu, Kakashi stated, Sasuke attacking with taijutsu. Naruto has many more techniques than me. It won't be long until he's learned more than you, and you only have one Sharingan, Sasuke hissed. With both my eyes, I can close that gap. Perhaps, but there is a difference between me and Naruto. It's not merely about copying techniques, it's mastering them. Considering the raw amount of jutsu at his disposal, Naruto hasn't spent much time mastering any of them. You, on the other hand, have a smaller collection, since you only have 2 nature affinities. You can copy more, but it's better to focus on the ones you already have, and master them. Sasuke backed away from the Jonin, panting. There was some truth in his words. One sharp kunai was always better than a dozen dull ones, according to his father. The memory forced him to shake his head. Kakashi was on top of him, coming on the offensive for the first time in 3 hours. He was running low on chakra and energy. Chidori! Sasuke dashed, Sharingan spinning. His vision widened, everything around him becoming focused. Kakashi smiled behind his mask, forming a small Chidori of his own. They collided, canceling each other out. Sasuke was thrown to the ground, Kakashi offering his hand. You're getting better by the day. That's not good enough, Sasuke seethed. There's no point in mastering few or learning many if I can't do it fast enough. I need to be growing faster. Kakashi sighed as Sasuke stood. There are some things that even shinobi cannot overcome without resorting to dubious methods. One is the human body. It can be trained, but there will always be a limit. You know that's a lie, Sasuke scoffed. What about that Rock Lee and his sensei? They know that 8 gates technique. From what I've learned, it opens the body's limiters. Yes, but only temporarily. What you don't know is that opening all 8 gates results in death. Sasuke's eyes grew wide. Even then, few are capable of opening any of the gates. I myself have only opened one. Taijutsu specialists, such as Lee and Guy, are the perfect wielders of that power. And if I'm being honest, I don't think you have that potential. Sasuke frowned, slipping into his stance. Kakashi shook his head. That's enough for today. Rest is a vital part of growth, one you're lacking behind. I don't need it, Sasuke retorted. You've been training non-stop for a week. Even Naruto would be pushing his limits at this point. But he's been just as bad as you, not sleeping. Especially before his journey to the Hidden Mist. Sasuke frowned once more. I heard he was supposed to be back today. Kakashi nodded. Because of him and Haku, we have gained a new ally in the form of the Hidden Mist. Sasuke looked away. Maybe the civilians will loosen up around him. Kakashi smiled. Regardless of his own feelings, Sasuke still didn't want the village to see him as a demon. It made him understand why he always compared himself to the blonde. The Jonin looked to the sky, Sasuke staring at him silently. "I sense him," Kakashi finally said. "Care to join me? I heard Shino and Hinata mention a small feast upon their return." Sasuke didn't respond, simply walking alongside the Jonin. Once they were out of the training field, he finally spoke. "How could you sense Naruto from so far away? You don't specialize in sensory techniques." "Believe it or not, I was an Anbu before becoming your sensei. Because of that, we were trained to specifically sense the Nine-Tails chakra. I myself was appointed one of Naruto's guardians by Hiruzen after he was pushed into the forest." "Makes sense, considering you were his father's student. So, is he anything like the fourth Hokage?" "In some ways. He certainly inherited Minato's silent demeanor. But when he gets riled up, he's more like Kushina. But in terms of skill, no, he's not like either of his parents." Kakashi chuckled. "I'm sure those two would have loved to see their son growing up. He should consider himself lucky he didn't know his parents before they were killed," Sasuke grunted. Kakashi shook his head in sadness. They walked in silence, reaching the village gate moments before Tsunade came into view. They weren't visible, but Kakashi could sense a team of Anbu in the trees surrounding the Kage and her companions. In front was Kiba and Kurenai, Shino and Hinata lagging behind. At the very back was Naruto. Sasuke squinted, expecting to see someone else beside him, but as they came closer, he found no one. Haku isn't with them. Kakashi looked down at Sasuke, pondering the possibilities. He didn't have to wait long, as him and Sasuke bowed to Tsunade. "Glad to have you back," Kakashi stated. Tsunade nodded with a faint smile. She stayed behind. Best not to ask him about it for now. Kakashi nodded, watching as Naruto slowly walked up to him and Sasuke. His expression was neutral. "Glad to be back, Kakashi-sensei." The Jonin nodded, beckoning him, Shino, and Hinata to follow. "I thought ahead and asked if Ichiraku would let us host a small welcome home party. Care to join us?" Hinata and Shino turned to Naruto, the blonde nodding slowly. He then looked at Sasuke, who merely glared at him. Naruto blinked, walking past him. "He's been quiet ever since he broke down outside the mist," Shino commented as they followed silently. Kakashi shared his and Hinata's concern. He was quiet before leaving for the mist. But this was different. He was holding everything in, again. His face brightened somewhat once he entered Ichiraku, but the mood was still somber. After a moment, Kakashi decided to break the ice. "So, what was the new Mizukage like? I heard she was the leader of the rebellion." Naruto stopped his eating, thinking for a moment. "She was a lot like Tsunade, though she does have this air of mystery around her. She mentioned that she had 2 Kekkei Genkai, but I don't know what they might be." "What about Zabuza? I take it he's faring well since our last encounter," Kakashi continued. Naruto nodded. "He would give you a run for your money with his new technique." Kakashi chuckled, the unease settling back in. Even the sudden appearance of Shikamaru didn't change things. "I see Haku decided to stay behind," the Nara muttered. "Quiet, Shikamaru," Hinata whispered. "He's still not comfortable talking about it." Shikamaru shrugged. "The sooner he gets it out of his system, the sooner he can get back to the old, troublesome Naruto." Everyone turned as Naruto chuckled. Right as always, Shikamaru, the blonde said, smiling. I'm sorry, guys. I'm ruining what was supposed to be a celebration. No need for apologies, Shino countered. We are your friends. We understand the difficulty of your current situation. Naruto nodded in thanks, quickly eating the rest of his ramen. The conversation picked up after that, the unease vanishing. The only one to stay silent was Sasuke, the Uchiha's eyes focused solely on Naruto. The group talked well into the afternoon before separating. Naruto wandered off into the village, Sasuke deciding to follow. He jumped from rooftop to rooftop, his confusion growing by the minute. Naruto walked through the crowded streets, an empty circle forming around him. The people actively moved as far away as they could, an aura of fear and hatred focused on him. Sasuke could hear the whispers. Words of Naruto's deeds in the mist had begun to circulate the moment Tsunade left for the village. Clearly, it had done nothing to improve his image. It's as if he's trying to make people hate him, walking around like this, Sasuke mused. The Uchiha couldn't comprehend why. The thought spun in his head as he followed Naruto to the edge of the forest. Naruto jumped through the trees, Sasuke keeping his distance, using his Sharingan to track the blonde. He reached the forest haven, Sasuke noting the sad state of the clearing. Naruto and Haku must have left in a hurry for the mist. Kunai, Shuriken, and Senbon were sprawled across the cave floor, clothes hanging on tree branches. The waterfall had also been blocked off by ice, the pond eerily still. Leaves were beginning to litter the ground, a sign of the changing seasons. What do you mean by that? Naruto said abruptly, Sasuke focusing back on him. Well, the winter is certainly shortened if that's true. But why do you care? Why are you even talking to me? No one is around. Besides, it's not like it would be too difficult to figure out who I'm talking to. Don't you dare say her name. My mother doesn't have anything to do with this, and neither does Haku. Just make your point. Naruto slammed his fist against the nearest tree, the wood shattering. He breathed heavily, eyes staring at nothing. Do you find some sick pleasure seeing me like this? I'm not some dog for you to watch. If you want to keep doing this, you need to give me some information. A pink orb of fire appeared in Naruto's hand, the blonde firing it towards a large rock. Half the stone was vaporized. You might think you can toy with me all you want, but I can make you shut up, once and for all. Naruto then drew a kunai, directing the blade towards his chest. I could kill myself here and now. You'd be free, even though you clearly don't want me to die. Naruto's grip tightened, pressing the tip against his shirt. His eyes closed, the rest of his body trembling. You don't know me as well as you think, Fox, Naruto spat. If ending my life will rid this world of you, then I will go through with it. I've got nothing left to lose with Haku gone. Naruto fell silent, his kunai slowly falling to his side. I can't trust you. You'd say anything to get what you want. Naruto's eyes snapped open, staring off into the abyss once more. Sasuke watched from his hiding place, a shiver crawling down his spine. Naruto was talking to the Nine Tails. Of course, he couldn't hear the demon's words, but based off Naruto's words and reactions, it was clear he wasn't meant to see this. Just what is going on inside that head of yours, Sasuke thought. His Sharingan pulsed as if it was trying to warn him. Naruto's eyes looked in his direction. He knew Sasuke was watching. "So, you finally got a glimpse of what I have to deal with?" Naruto asked. Sasuke didn't respond or move from his hiding place. His Sharingan stared at Naruto, feeling something he didn't recognize at first. It was sadness. He had no right to give Naruto pity, and the blonde didn't want it. But if what he had just witnessed was something Naruto experienced constantly, then the blonde understood his struggle with the curse mark more than he realized. "Please, Sasuke, just leave," Naruto called out into the forest. "I'm fine, really. I just need some time alone." Naruto scanned the trees, vaguely aware of Sasuke's position. He stepped back as a kunai landed in the dirt in front of him, a note wrapped around the handle. "I won't say anything to anyone. Just don't let Haku leaving affect your promise to me." "He's a greater fool than you are," the fox rumbled, sensing the Uchiha retreat from the forest. Naruto lay down in his bed within the cave, pulling off his headband. "And you're finally going to tell me what you were going to say before I sent Sasuke," Naruto retorted, shifting to his side. He stared at the empty bed beside him. He could feel Haku's presence, as if he could reach out and shake her awake like he used to. But that time was over. "Get your mind out of the clouds and listen closely," the Nine Tails bellowed. "This is going to affect both of us in both the short and long term. When I took over your body, I made contact with Yagura's body before he was taken." Naruto reached into his pouch, pulling out a scroll. "I assumed you were after the Three Tails," he said as an item appeared from the smoke-covered scroll. "Yes. If that man in black was with the Akatsuki, they will most certainly extract my brother from the former Mizukage, killing him in the process. The same way your mother died." "Get to the point," Naruto said as he put the scroll away. "The point is that your mind is going to become a lot more cluttered in the coming months. I pulled a piece of my brother from Yagura, implanting it inside me, which is inside you." "You're saying you pulled another tailed beast into me?" Naruto screeched in shock and rage. "Cool it, brat. I didn't pull in any chakra. I merely pulled the spirit of my brother." "Why would you need to do that? And how?" Naruto stuttered. "Don't get too nosy. I'm only telling you this much so you don't freak out. All you need to understand is that the conscience of the Three Tails will begin to form inside your mind. Luckily for you, you'll be able to block him out, since he's not the one giving you handouts." Naruto quickly concluded that the fox was telling the truth. It had no reason to lie, and it was much better than worrying about it. All he had to do was wait. The fox was clearly willing to give information now, so it was only a matter of time before he learned more. But one word confused Naruto. "What do you mean by handouts?" he questioned, as he took the photo he'd taken from the scroll. "Exactly what it sounds like. My power, what I've allowed you to use in the past. You and many others think I'm giving you far more of it. In reality, you've only ever used a fraction of my chakra." "What about the chakra tails?" Naruto asked, referring to the bubbling tails attached to the orange cloak. "Merely a way to confuse the humans. Think of us tailed beasts like a circle. My total chakra reserves take up 1/2 of that circle. The Eight Tails takes up 1/4, and so on and so forth. There's a reason I'm called the strongest, and why the Hidden Leaf values my power so much, even though they fear me. I'm equal to the other 8 alone. Naruto stared at the orange beast, at a loss for words. The fox closed its eyes, Naruto returning to reality. He didn't want to think anymore. He just wanted to sleep. Perhaps his dreams would soothe him. Haku, I wish you were at my side. Even for just tonight, he whispered, gently placing the photograph on her old bed. Him and Haku stood side by side. They had it taken shortly after the tuning exams. The blonde grinned widely, Haku wearing a thinner smile. They each held their tuning vests. Naruto made sure to get 2 copies, one for himself, the other for Haku. It was all he had left, beside her old leaf headband, which he refused to remove from his neck. If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.